Good morning. I'm Irish Fishback with Maximum One Realtor Partners. Hope you're having a great day today. I just want to shout out Hampton University. Woo-hoo! So this morning we are going to talk about the exclusive buyers agreement. So we talked about last week, I'm ready to buy, now what? We went through the steps where you're going to get your paperwork and affairs in order. You're going to check your credit score and make sure that your scores are where they need to be and that you know what's on your credit report. And then the next thing you were going to do was to contact a licensed real estate agent. So when you contact a licensed real estate agent, you are going to enter into a brokerage agreement. And let's see what that looks like. We got the wrong thing up here. Let's see if we can get that. Let me see if there is a better way to get that here. Let me see. I just had it for you guys. And of course, when you need it, it disappears. Now let's get that back. Okay, I see it now. Okay, so let's get that back. Let's sorry about that. These morning technical difficulties. Okay, here we go. So I think I need more coffee. So, okay, this is an exclusive buyer's brokerage agreement. And this form is what you are going to enter into once you find a real estate agent. So on this form, I'm going to go through it quickly, just so that you have an idea of what you're signing and what you can expect. So in exclusive buyer's brokerage engagement agreement, it just means that the agent that you have agreed to work with, you are hiring them exclusively only to find a house for you. Okay, so that's basically what it means. So on that agreement that will be sent to you for you to sign, this is going to be for you and anyone else who is entering in with you to buy a home. So if it's you and your husband or your wife, your spouse, if it's you or your one of your siblings are going in to buy a house, whoever it is, whoever is going to be, their name is going to be on that deed, then on that mortgage, they will need to be on this agreement. Okay, so the first thing is the date. The date will be entered here, the length of time. So if you're starting from, let's say, for instance, today's date, and let's say you want to go out, let's say the market is, there's not that much inventory, and maybe the market is, a little not frenzied, but there's a lot of buyers out there. So let's say you want to go until August 2nd, because that's your deadline. You need to be in a house by that time. It can be longer, it can be shorter. That's entirely up to you and your agent. And then here, your agent is going to select any agencies that they do not participate in. So, for example, as if they had checked here a seller's agency, which most brokerages are not going to check that. Most brokers do buying and selling. So a seller's agency would mean that you don't participate in listings. So maybe you're only a buyer's brokerage or something like that. Dual agency, you don't represent a buyer and seller in the same transaction. So here the agent is going to check everything that they do not participate in. Okay, so all of that would be checked here. And we're just going to check these here: dual agency, sub agency, because those are two agencies that I don't currently participate in. Then here you're going to have the commission structure. So either your agent is going to check here what kind of commission they're expecting in this transaction. So normally it's 3% of the sales price. So with that said, so buyers look at that and say, oh, 3%. So do I need to pay that at closing? Many times your sellers are going to pay that cost at closing. Okay. So when you're looking for a home, your agent will know how much of that 3% that the seller is going to pay towards the transaction, towards that transaction. Now, it may be that your seller, your agent may come back, like if let's say the seller is only willing to pay 2%, and then your agent may amend this later and say, hey, the seller's only willing to pay 2%, so the 1% will need to come from the buyer. Or they may amend it to be the 2%, and that's okay. So it's up to the agent, depending on the fees that they charge. If they have some other structure, then that they would check that here and put whatever that structure is that they may be charging. Maybe it's not 3%, maybe it's another fee that they're charging. Then they have the option of a separate commission on a lease. So let's say that you decide while you're looking for a house, you decide, you know what, can't find a house, I'm just going to lease this house, or I'm going to lease to own. So the agent would put that fee here that they're willing to take if you decide to go in that direction. The protected period, this is normally, I put here, like it's either going to be 30 days or 45 days. I'm just, for this example, going to put 45 days. This just means that if I've shown you a home within the 45 days after this agreement terminates, so after our agreement expires on August 2nd, 45 days after that period is the protected period. So that means any house that I've shown you that you close on in those 45 days without me, you still owe my commission. So that's what that is there. And then all this language here is going to explain in detail each section above that is in the brokerage agreements. And so your rights, the agent's rights, are all listed here. So here you're going to have any, the agent's going to check any brochures that they have provided to you in this agreement that they're going into with you. So a lot of times we'll provide the ABCs of agencies, which just goes into deeper detail of what a broker agency is, a seller agency, sub agency. It just goes into the details of that. A lead-based pamphlet, what to look out for, a mold pamphlet, what to look out for if a home has mold or you suspect that it may have mold. And just various different, I always like to give protect yourself from buying real property is another. So these are just different pamphlets and brochures that we provide the buyers. And so we're just checking here what we've given you. Any other stipulations to our agreement would be listed here if there's any other stipulations. And then you would sign. So then you would sign here with your receiving address, which is your current address, your telephone number, your email address, and the same if you have a co-buyer. So that would be your spouse or your partner or whoever else may be going into the agreement with you. And so this is what an exclusive buyer's engagement agreement looks like, brokerage agreement. So this is the form that you would fill out with your agent. And after that, your agent is free to go out and secure a home for you to buy. Okay, so I hope that has been helpful. I hope that has been helpful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me and ask any questions that you may have. I am here to answer your questions. I'm happy to answer your questions. And our You know, a lot of times buying a home can be a scary process for many people, and it doesn't have to be. You know, that's why you have a professional real estate agent. We are here to hold your hand, walk you through the entire process. You know, there are no dumb questions. This is an important, expensive process. And so, you know, we're here to answer your questions, and that's what we do. We, you know, and we don't have a problem with that. So if you have questions, ask. You cannot ask too many questions when you're making the largest purchase of your life. So if you have questions, reach out to me. I'm happy to answer them. Give me a call. I will talk to you and answer any questions that you have. So what our community, our good neighbor tip for this week. A good way to be a good neighbor is to set up a community cleanup drive. And what that is you can set up a community cleanup drive either in your subdivision, in your surrounding community, at one of your local parks, on one of the major highways or streets in your community. That is a good way to pull the community together, keep your properties clean, and also send the message to those in the community that we care about the community and that the community is involved. And it also, if you didn't know, drives up your property values. So keeping your neighborhoods clean, making sure that your surrounding communities are clean as well, helps keep everyone's investments intact and keeps the home prices going in the right direction. That has been my good neighbor tip for this week. I hope you're having a great week, and I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, again, please don't hesitate to reach out. Have a fantastic day.